Grande. It's not going to be Rio Grande. It's going to be spelled like that, but it's going to be pronounced Rio Grande. I'm, of course, Septilence, joined here by my co-caster, or over here, depending on which side of the screen I'm on. Go ask Alice. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty great. How are you?
I'm doing great. Love to be here. Love to be casting, and I love to see what is hopefully going to be a really good game. We got a little bit of intel from one of our coworkers here at NECC that apparently Springfield and Rio Grande are good friends both on and off the battlefield. Apparently these teams have gone up against each other quite a few times.
Yeah, it's exciting to see because they did face each other in the preseason, and Springfield College did emerge victorious. So I wonder if Rio Grande's going to have a little bone
They've
to
got
pick
a
with them.
vengeance. Yeah, they've absolutely. They're going to maybe come out a little bit bloodthirsty. And you mentioned this before on or off stream, so please correct me if I'm wrong. But Rio Grande is coming into this 2-0, and we've seen Springfield lose at least one match so far, right?
Yeah, Springfield got their first win last week, so I think they're trying to get their second one here, see if they can defeat Rio Grande, who is currently undefeated in the normal season.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm expecting to maybe see with these two teams, they are all 10 very good friends. We might see a little bit of tactical crouching and maybe just a little bit of fun, more than you'd normally see in a league like this one. But, you know, if they all know each other, it's just going to be friends having fun at the end of the day. And those are also the, in my opinion, the better VODs to watch, because your feelings won't be as hurt if you get completely dumpstered. But, you know, either of these teams, they've both got a win under their belt. And right now, Springfield, they're trying to keep that momentum they have from last week going.
Yeah, it's always fun to play against your friends, and you know kind of the angles they like to hold, the lurks they like to do. So it'll be interesting to see if we see any of these mind games coming out tonight.
I really hope we do, because I think that'll add a whole new layer to this whole thing. And I think one of the players even mentioned that to one of our coworkers here. They said something along the lines of, "We all know how each other play." So I hope to see maybe a couple of cheekier plays than normal. I think that would be a lot of fun. Our first map is going to be Ascent, and I believe Springfield's going to be in the offense, and that's going to put Rio Grande on the defense, of course.
Yeah, I love a sense of super fun map. It's a little more difficult to attack on, especially for lower elo teams and players, because it is very focused on getting mid control, which can be difficult. But I'm excited to see what Springfield has on their attacking side.
You know, I'm very excited to see what comes out from the attack, because it could make or break your entire set, of course. I mean, you could go into halftime 12-0, 10-0, like, or 10-2. I mean, it could be a disaster for that attacking team. And I talk about this all the time if I'm on stream. If you watch often, you're probably sick of me hearing me say this at this point. But I mean, Valorant is 9 out of 10 times a defender's advantage game. All of the maps are built to kind of give the advantage to the defenders and make things a little bit easier on them. So the attackers, you're already going to have a bit of a difficulty. And then if you're going to be picking defensive characters like Cypher, or maybe recently nerfed characters like Reyna, that might put even more weight on your attack than you really needed to put down.
Yeah, luckily I think Riot's taken really good steps in adding more initiators and duelists to the game. We see the introduction of Yoru. Even though Reyna did get this nerf, we now have another agent who's able to use utility like flashes and more offensive utility to help him get onto site. So it'll be interesting to see if we get to see a Euro game today. I'm kind of excited. I haven't seen a lot of players pick him up yet. He feels a little weak still, but he did recently get that quality of life patch or kind of a buff. So I'm excited to see if we get to see him.
Yeah, a bit of a buff, because at one point his fake footsteps sounded different than his real ones, right? So they fixed that, because if you listen for the sound, of course you're going to know that it's fake. But now that they've made them sound completely identical, I think that's going to be a huge quality of life change. And I would consider that a buff, personally. I have casted a lot of Valorant here in the last couple of weeks, and I've seen Yoru one time. So I really hope maybe we see one today. I think that would be awesome. He seems super interesting, but I feel like I've yet to see somebody really utilize his gameplay.
Yeah, he's one of the more difficult agents to kind of utilize efficiently with his utilities. Kind of a player like a Breach and an Omen combined. But I think we're loading into map for Pick and Van.
Yeah, now we finally get to see what these guys are going to become, what these teams are going to be coming out here. I mean, I don't expect to see anything out of the ordinary. I'd expect maybe a Sova. Ascent, you usually see arrays coming out as well. So those are pretty much the consistent ones. Omen and Killjoy, I actually wanted to bring her up, so shout out the Terminal for reminding me on that one. But Killjoy is kind of used in place of Cypher, because she can play a similar defense, but she also doesn't fumble on the offense the same way a defensive-built character like Cypher might. And right now, I mean, from what we're seeing from the attackers, it's not exactly a comp you're able to run. I don't think you're able to bring out 4 Yorus in a Cypher. I don't think the game allows that.
Not yet. Yeah, it's exciting to see how teams oscillate between the Cypher and the Killjoy pick. The one limitation of Killjoy that Cypher doesn't have is that Killjoy is bound within a certain radius of her utility. Yeah. So in a map like Ascent, where it's a pretty large map and the sites are pretty far away from each other, it's interesting to see if teams go for Killjoy, even though that means that their rotates have to be a little more committed than not. Or if they go for the Cypher, where they can let their utility remain even if they rotate off the site.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we're going to see, locking in just a little bit here, Springfield, they're going to be bringing out a Viper, which, Alice, I don't know if you know this, but I hate Viper. She is my least favorite character in the entire game. I think she is, I just think she's really not utilized properly, and I think she's been nerfed into the absolute ground. So to see one being brought out here by Springfield, I mean, I'm shocked a little bit.
Yeah, the Viper pick is kind of surprising, especially because they already have the controller on Omen. I think Omen is one of the more versatile controllers in the game right now, so not surprised to see him on both teams. But the Viper pick, to be fair, there is some really cool Viper walls you can get on Ascent. There's some really nice lineups, so if Scuba has his lineups down, it could prove worthwhile, but I guess we're going to see.
Yeah, I mean, there's only one way to find out, right? We're going to see they're bringing out two nerfed characters here, both Viper and Reyna, so the abilities coming out from both of these teams, I mean, I just feel like one team, or Springfield, they're going to be bringing out two characters that are considered nerfed into the ground. And we're seeing a pretty consistent defense and just a pretty consistent lineup coming out on the defense here. The only real thing that catches me off guard is the breach. I mean, it's not unusual, but it's not something that I feel you see very often either.
Yeah, we saw Breach on Ascent a couple of acts ago. He was used a lot in pro play, but he's kind of fallen out of the meta, so it's interesting to see him in combination with the Reyna. I personally like playing a secondary flash if I have a Reyna.
Sure.
So I guess we're going to see how it's going to work on the T side.
Also, and for those of you just joining us, we are going to be calling this team Rio Grande. We are not pronouncing it wrong. This is the team from Ohio. Oh, actually, shout out Ohio. I live there. I love it. But Rio Grande, they are from Ohio, and it is not pronounced Rio Grande. So you guys are going to be hearing that all night. Don't get it mixed up. But as I finish my sentence, aggressive act, able to pick up a kill there with the ghost, able to pick up a single elimination. Going to be very quickly down to Bravo. The team going to be taken out by Make One Tap. I mean, finds the one tap, lives up to the name right away. Going to find that pressure. It's going to be 4-4, an Omen and a Raze missing. I mean, do you think either of these teams have an immediate advantage in this 4-4?
They're already on the bump site, but they're not able to clear out Heaven, so it's going to be really difficult for the attackers to get onto the site. Duskspell is still lurking behind. He might be able to get this frag on the tree player, but Aggressive Act does take out Make One Tap.
Yeah, one Reyna takes out another, but Skyline, excuse me, would probably be missing that up all night, able to find a double headshot kill with the ghost of their own, so it's going to be a 1v3-2 on the side of the defenders, on the side of Rio Grande. Critical health, so I mean, there is a world where Aggressive Act wins this. This might be an ace as literally our first play, and it literally is going to be. Aggressive Act, excuse me, picks up, actually, call him Aggressive Ace, finds a 5k at 10 health, and secures a first round for Springfield. I mean, I know these schools are good friends, but even if my friends did that to me, that's gotta hurt.
Really impressive by Springfield. Aggressive Act getting the ace even though Reyna got nerfed on her pistol round. She only has 2 orbs in total, and I'm pretty sure Aggressive Act might have only had 1 that round to start off.
I think
and
so.
He still gets ace. He lived with 10 HP. That is heartbreaking.
Yeah, no, that was, I mean, a single bullet. One bullet would have made the difference there, but Aggressive Act brings out an Aggressive Act. Like, that was an Aggressive Act if I have ever seen one, and now, I mean, just a great start for Springfield, and they've got the economy for it as well.
Nice.
That's gonna hurt though.
Yeah, nice ink on the side of Make One Tap, but he does get outgunned. We do see some singers coming out despite the nerfs, so it'll be interesting to see if they're able to capitalize on this pick they've done A site.
Yeah, we see the immediate wallbang coming through there, and a little bit of damage being taken out on the side of Springfield as well. The attacking team, Tiki, took a little bit of damage there, but of course, a 5v4, as long as you've got some health, you're crucial to your team. And Jelly's immediately able to find the Sheriff kill onto Caboose there, so definitely no value coming out from that. They find the spike plant, so even if they lose this point or if they lose this round, they still get the extra credits for planting the spike, and now going to be a 3v5 currently in favor of those attackers. Springfield once again, pressure's coming out on Rio Grande, excuse me, but they're going to have to make something happen.
Yeah, they got 1 pick and trade, but the door is down and they're running out of time. They don't have the weapons advantage. They did get a stinger on the side of Bravo, so Rio Grande has a chance, but they have to go soon because they're running out of time to defuse the bomb.
Yeah, they're running out of time. We see Scuba just hiding around the corner, immediately going to put a bullet into Bravo there, and Jellies picks up that 5th and final kill, finding a 3K, excuse me, in the matchup there. So we talked so early on, I even said it on stream, Valorant tends to be a defender-sided game. The defenders usually have an advantage, but when you get rolled in the first 2 rounds like that, that almost guarantees 2 more rounds of victory here for Rio Grande before they really have to start. I mean, unless we see a crazy Thrifty come out from, or excuse me, for Springfield. So unless we see a crazy Thrifty coming out from Rio Grande, I mean, they really don't have much to buy with.
Yeah, luckily Springfield, if you are on the attacking side and you get the first pistol, which feels kind of like a 50-50 at this point in the meta, it's almost guaranteed you're going to win the anti-eco. So it's good to see them get the win. So now they have to kind of capitalize. If they are at a gun disadvantage right now, we have a full rifle lineup coming out on the side of Rio Grande.
Yeah, they're gonna be full committing. If they lose this round, their economy is going to be in shambles. The most credits on their side is 400. The lowest amount on the side of Springfield is 2,000. So there's a massive differential in these credits right now. And if Rio Grande loses this, I mean, they've guaranteed at least another free round for Springfield.
Yeah, looks like they're gonna play for mid control. The dark cover does come out, kind of slowing their push, but they're gonna creep on the cat. And Jelly's with the first pick onto Caboose with the Stingers. Now it's a 5v4 in favor of Springfield.
Yeah, 5v4 in favor of Springfield. The Tiki is in critical condition if I've ever seen it. Just no help online. And Mc1tap gonna find the headshot kill with Duskcell, gonna be right behind Mc1tap, so a 4v3. Still in favor of Springfield. They get the spike plant once again, so free credits online. They've just gotta get a couple more eliminations to secure this round. And like I said, if they win this one, the economy is gonna be on the up and up. And Rio Grande, they're gonna have to dig themselves out of quite the hole.
Yeah, Rio Grande really needs to get this round here if they don't want to ruin their economy. They do have the gun advantage, even though they don't have the numbers, but Aggressive Act is playing that really close angle with the Bulldog. You want to be seeing these players taking shorter angles with their weaponry. Scuba does get one with the Spectre, making it a 4v2, make that a 4v1, and a beautiful round for Springfield again.
Another great round from Springfield, like you said. I mean, this is 3 rounds in a row, and I've said it 100 times. That almost secures them this next round as well, because they can go all out and still have plenty in terms of credits, where we might have to see a short buy coming out from Rio Grande. They're really going to have to hold on to their credits, because, I mean, they're running out of time. I think at least we're going to be seeing a light armor buy from them.
Yeah, you really expect Springfield to dominate this round. They're going to have a significant gun advantage. We do see a Marshall coming out from Mc1tap, which was recently buffed, and we've been seeing a lot more play on it. A maps like Ascent and Icebox with these longer angles, so maybe he can make it worth his credits and get a frag, but if not, it's going to be another round going to Springfield.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to go 3 classics, a Ghost, and a Marshall, and that is quite the combination here. Mc1tap on that Reyna. Like you said, the Marshall got buffed in terms of damage, and the price was lowered, I think, by 100 credits, which doesn't seem like a lot, but at the end of the day, that is quite a lot here in terms of Valorant credits. Marshall getting even 1 elimination with that gun, I think, makes it worth it. Just finding any value with it, because if they immediately put the credits into that and then die, I mean, then they've just thrown those credits down the street. But on the bright side, the rest of that team, the rest of Rio Grande, they're able to hold on to their credits until the next round. Jelly's putting the pressure onto Robbo. Gonna take him out right away. It's gonna be a classic and a Marshall versus a full buy of Vandals on the attacking team. Like I said, this round seems all but free here for Springfield.
Yeah, Jellies with a really aggressive push through mid gets 2 picks. Now it's 2v5. The Marshall doesn't quite land the headshot. A lot of utilities is going out to kind of prevent the push. And I know that Rio Grande is at a disadvantage in guns here, but you expect them to do a little bit more with their weaponry. Mc1tap makes the first Marshall headshot. So now it's a 4v1, and he does get the overheal.
I would absolutely love to see Mc1tap just bust out a full-blown ace here, but something tells me we're probably not going to be seeing that happen with a Marshall in particular. I mean, the fire rate on this gun is so slow, and you've pretty much got to land a headshot or you're going to lose the firefight. So he's got to get 1 shot 4 times. Like, that's really what it has to happen. And the spike has already been planted, so this timer is ticking down. We're probably, I mean, well under a minute at this point, so the pressure is going to be coming out very quickly. It looks like he may just be kind of last standing the situation. Going to try to find an elimination, but no, they're going to close in. Duskcell picks up that kill. That's 4 rounds in a row here for Springfield. This might be over before it even begins in terms of Rio Grande.
Yeah, if you're Mc1tap there, you're trying to just play for some elimination frags, trying to get some guns to damage Springfield's economy at all, but I'm a little disappointed in what we're seeing coming out of Rio Grande. Even though they have been on an eco in 2 of these last 4 rounds, you expect them to be playing a little more together on the defense, just trying to set up crossfires, playing short angles, maybe using a shotgun, but we haven't really seen any adaptation, so hopefully their next gun round, they can change something up and get their first round on the board.
Yeah, of course, and on the bright side, this is going to be a best of 3, so if they lose here on Ascent, we've got at least 1 more map. You've got to hope they're able to win that one, because like you said, we're seeing a serious lack of adaptation. We're seeing a constant defense of B, and I think we saw a spike plant on A actually in that last round. So if anything, we're seeing adaptation from Springfield when we need to be seeing the exact opposite. We need to be seeing it coming out from Rio Grande. So it's unusual to see kind of the attacking team or the winning team choose to spice things up when if it's not broke, you know, don't fix it.
Yeah, that's another, it's now a 5v3 again on the side of Springfield, and Rio Grande just they're losing these gun battles, and then they're giving up the site, and their retakes haven't been very clean. They're running out of utility before they can even start the retake.
Yeah, and speaking of running out of utility, Rio Grande going into the next round, they're going to have 3 ultimates online. And, oh, excuse me, no, we're going to see the Empress come out from Aggressive Act in that final moment. Going to find the headshot onto Mc1tap, and now, I was going to say that, you know, the attackers, Springfield, they have 4 ultimates online, but now it's going to be knocked down to 3, as that Empress already did pay itself off by finding that elimination. This might be a flawless round here for Springfield.
Yeah, Robbo's sitting there at less than 10% HP. Not a whole lot he can do here again. Trying to play for exits. He probably wants to die to the bomb here, but doesn't even look like he's gonna get an exit
He's
frag.
just gonna hide corner. Yeah, he's just gonna hide around the corner and try to hold on to his weapons, which with an economy like they have, that's really all you can hope to do. He's got 1,000 credits to his name right now, so he's gonna try to hold on to that Vandal. He's able to do so, but this is looking bleak. If Springfield can win 2 more rounds, they're gonna have at least a majority coming into halftime, and that's assuming that Grande wins the following 5 rounds.
Yeah, and as we said before, Ascent is a pretty defense-sided map in pugs and in professional play, so it's really heartbreaking if you're a Grande fan right now, watching them just kind of get dominated. It's a 5-0. They're on another broken buy. We see one rifle that was bonus. Other than that, we see a Stinger and a Sheriff. Oh, it looks like we get the Marshall coming out again, but not a whole lot they can do here.
Yeah, the Marshall paid off a little bit, was able to find a pretty cheeky kill early on. Gonna miss the shot there. I say it all the time, that is a one-shot, one-kill situation. If you miss that shot, you have to do exactly what Mick1Tap did and just book it. Just get out of there, because you're gonna lose that firefight. And you talked about this already, but I want to touch down on it a little more. Grande, they're not playing together the same way Springfield is. We're seeing Grande really not be pushing in with that same aggression. Even when they're defending, they're so spread out that when they're being shot at by 5 people, they're gonna get ripped apart before they can even pull the trigger once. I feel like we're seeing a lot of individual play versus Springfield. We're seeing a full team-based, full 5 push almost every time.
Yeah,
the showstopper
comes out. I'm not sure if they're gonna be able to get the pick here. Does miss the 2 players in heaven and Caboose. Now it's a 5v4. Grande has a chance here, even though they're down in weaponry.
Yeah, Caboose giving Grande that first advantage for the first time in a long, actually all game. Jelly's gonna even things right back up, able to find Caboose with that headshot. A 3v4 in favor of Springfield. They lost the lead, but they take it back so quickly. Terminal's gonna go toe-to-toe, try to reload that Sheriff, but aggressive act with that Vandal, able to just do the damage necessary. And now Skyline taking out headshot from Bravo. Gonna get eliminated right after finding that opposing Omen. That is 6 rounds in a row here, ending in favor of Springfield.
Yeah, and Grande here, they're giving up sight so easily on these ecos when you want to be playing closer angles. You want to be trying to get a pick. If you're going to leave the site anyway, you might as well take one with you, but they keep doing the same thing. They keep giving up the site and then getting taken out from like longer angles. So they're not going to be able to come back into this game unless they have to change something here. They're kind of getting rolled.
Yeah, no, that is, I couldn't have said it better myself. They are getting rolled indeed. I mean, 6-0 on a defense-sided map. We've said that 100 times. They're going to be going for another short buy here, another broke buy. We see a couple of commitments. I think there's a Vandal and a Marshall, 2 Spectres, which is personally my favorite gun in the game, but mostly just because I'm a weirdo. And Mick1Tap, I mean, misses the shot on the bomb, buddy. That is awful. That's going to get rid of over 1/4 of your health, so that's definitely not going to look good in whatever gunfight you might find yourself in first. Bravo able to find Jellies with that close quarters headshot, but aggressive act picks up the kill right after. Gonna be a 4v4, an aggressive act. I mean, I feel like in particular, you talked about this already, playing Arena, but also the top fragger on the side of Springfield. So nerfed or not, I mean, clearly a great understanding of how to play Arena.
Yeah, I like what Robbo tried to do there by pushing out with the Spectre, playing around his dark covers, at least getting 1 pick, so now it's able to slow down Springfield just a little bit, but as I say that, aggressive act gets the headshot onto Caboose, and now it's a 4v3.
Yeah, absolutely, but Mick1Tap gets that 1 tap again, able to find Tiki with the shot, and the Marshall gonna make 3v3, the Cypher just around the corner. Mick1Tap able to find another one. That's gonna be a triple kill here with the operator. I mean, this gun's stronger than ever. Terminal finds Scuba, and for the first time in a long time, Grande, they find a victory. The operator there from Mick1Tap, I mean, living up to their name.
Yeah, Springfield's kind of stuttered a little bit there. They got a little, I think, taken aback from the pick that the Grande was able to get mid, but they knew the operator was on the A side, so I'm interested to see why they decided to push that, but really well played by Mick1Tap. Getting 3 frags of the operator makes that a really worthwhile buy. Yeah, absolutely, and Dusk Cell got to be beating themselves up a little bit, peeked a little bit too far around the corner, and they were killed. Their shot in the arm, like just a couple of pixels were able to make it around the wall, and that's going to cost them that round in part. It's going to be an operator and 9 Vandals online, so that's going to be a lot of damage coming out from both these sides. An Empress being popped super early on, I believe. No, I'm sorry, that was no Empress. I thought aggressive act had just ulted. I was a little bit confused there, but now Skyline gonna go for a little bit of info, have that drone eliminated right away, and this firefight's probably gonna crack itself wide open in just a moment.
one shot from Skyline, but aggressive act, just aggressive as always, able to find that elimination. Now going to be able to use the orb and get healed up, and pressure going to be coming out over and over again. I mean, I can't say it enough. They've got to do something about this Reyna. Aggressive act has 13 eliminations. The most eliminations on the side of Rio Grande is 6. So over double what the opposing team has.
Yeah, aggressive act has been playing out of this aggressive angle here. Rabo's able to get a kill, but he has no idea that aggressive act is on his right. Gets the first kill on the caboose. Is able to go away, runs away. He's on the switch, gets his third kill with aggressive act. Now at 3v2, and Empress is still activated.
Yeah, if aggressive act is able to just put some pressure on and get the Empress, or keep the Empress online, put the pressure out, and you pick up another ace, I will absolutely lose my mind. Already has 3 eliminations, 2 more are on, 2 more are possible. That's all he needs for the ace, but one of them still holding on to that operator, and that is the scariest thing to try to corner peek. You have to hit one headshot, blink, and you miss it, but Scuba gonna be able to find Rabo, and now we're gonna have to see another 3v1 frag from McOneTap. They were able to do it last time, but now, I mean, the pressure's coming out.
Yeah, if I'm Springfield here, I'm trying to get the operator out of his hands, but McOneTap gets the first kill. It's now a 2v1. I think they're just gonna run away and let him keep his op.
I think they're going to have to, because if you push into the operator, you know, you're really going to have to put the pressure on. They're not even going to look for the exit frag. They're going to let him keep the operator, because to be fair, didn't really stop them that round. Able to find the 1 elimination, but otherwise it's not like it cost them the round, so they're going to hold them, let McOneTap hold on to it for a little bit longer. But with a name like McOneTap and a performance with the operator we've seen, I would try to get that gun out of their hands as quickly as possible.
Yeah, but if I'm McOneTap here, I don't know if I would choose to hold A main, since I've been playing there as the operator the last 2 rounds, but it looks like he's going to anyway. I really hope that Springfield here doesn't decide to dry peek this when they know there's an operator playing an A main, but
could cost them.
We're gonna find out.
Yeah, we're gonna see A main, like you said, in the bomb buddy gonna go around the corner. It looks like that may have the operator, but no, gonna miss that first shot anyway. Tuck their tail, try to get back a little bit. I think we saw Paranoia, but a little bit too early on around the corner. Gonna put the door down and then also immediately destroy it from Rabo, who's now just hiding in the corner. I think he has no idea that the entirety of Springfield is currently rotating around past A, rotating kind of toward B, but for the time being, it looks like they maybe get caught up in a bit of a firefight. Scuba is able to find Caboose there with a headshot, so immediately in favor of Springfield. Once again, something that we're all very familiar with. Rabo puts the pressure on it, finds the headshot, finds Dusk Cell as well. Aggressive act picks up Skyline, able to keep things tied. But this Reyna, she's got to get somebody's orb here. She's got to get something, because not critical condition, but about half health.
Yeah, half health, no armor. It's now a 3v3. Bomb is looking like it might be leaning towards this B, especially with this Viper wall up there. They are going to run into Killjoy with her entire utility setup, though, so they're going to have to go kind of quickly. But Killjoy doesn't have a weapon, so if they're able to trade it out, they might be able to get this bomb down.
Yeah, so that's a great observation. I didn't even notice that Terminal doesn't have a weapon, like just has that classic online. Still able to pick up an elimination onto aggressive act there. So now we're thinking you've got a critical health raise and Arena who's literally living at, not even probably 5% of their health pool. They're gonna go for the spike plant, but if you're Rio Grande, you kind of just want to rush into this.
Yeah, you expect Rio Grande to win this round. They do have an operator, which makes it a little more difficult for this retake, but they do have 2 full health players on the side. It looks like they're gonna spam through the door so you get the first kill on the terminal. So now it's a 2v2.
McOneTap has the operator, and we're going to see kind of a close in coming out from Rabo, able to find Tiki, and if Rabo finds this last elimination onto the Viper, I'm sure it'll be a 4K, but no, Scuba with the headshot. I mean, it's an operator, and McOneTap able to find that elimination. They're just in that final moment. Looks like they're going to get the defuse. It'll be close. I'd say probably not under 10 seconds, at least around there, I would assume. And yeah, 10.15 seconds online. McOneTap, again, basically the sole hero of Rio Grande for that round.
Yeah, I'm really impressed by McOneTap's operating skills. You don't often see the operator player be a Reyna. Tends to go on a champion like a Jet or a Sage, especially after the Reyna nerfs. You only have 2 dismiss max if you don't have your ultimate, but McOneTap is really making it worth. We probably won't see him doing the same stuff when they're on the offensive side of the map, but on his defense, he's really holding his sight down.
Yeah, absolutely doing a great job on this Reyna. And you touched down on a little bit already, but operator, if I learned one thing from working with Jag, it's that an operator belongs in the hands of Jet, because she's got those dashes to get in and out of a fight as quickly as possible, and it's just a great way to get a cheeky pick, kind of like McOneTap's been trying to, but it's been unable to do quite yet. And when you've got that Jet dash, you can be a little bit cheekier with your push and your aggression.
Yeah, I'm really impressed. I really like how Springfield is clearing out this A main with the raised boom bot. It's really difficult as an operator to not pay attention to it, because if you don't hit it with your op, then you're gonna get blown up by it. As opposed to something with the Sova arrow where you can get tagged and might still be able to get a frag. It's a really nice piece of utility just to move the operator out of that aiming position.
Absolutely, and Rio Grande, I mentioned this already. If they can win the next 3 rounds, they can go into halftime 7-5, which is not, that is a winnable situation. That is a survivable situation. But if they're to go into halftime 10-2, I mean, that is quite the hole to climb out of. So now they're really gonna have to turn around at least this next round, maybe one more to really secure themselves a spot. But if they allow Springfield to keep running away with this, I think Ascent could be over pretty soon. But no, Terminal able to find an elimination onto Aggressive Act. And honestly, as soon as that Reyna dies, as soon as Aggressive Act dies, I feel like the odds of Springfield winning just, they don't exactly plummet, but I feel like they're not nearly as high.
Yeah, not only is Aggressive Act their top frag, but it's also one of their only entry characters. You do have the Raze, but we really haven't been seeing SC Tiki get onto these sites. We haven't seen any satchels onto site, and they're playing really slow with their more defensive agency up left on the map.
Yeah, we're gonna see the ultimate commit from Jellies here. Looks like we're gonna see teleport around, just I think trying to plant the spike. That was kind of an unusual thing there, but no, the Viper has the spike, so Scuba not gonna be able to plant it here. Gonna be trying to use that cage to get through. Jellies able to find 2 kills with the spike plant. There's no way it comes through. The defenders are gonna be able to win this. Mc1tap finds Jellies, but I mean, if you're Springfield, you've got to look at this with a silver lining. You got 3 eliminations there. You're gonna force a little bit of a bye coming out from your opponents, but now, I mean, you also lost 3 of your own teammates, so it's not like you gained much in that round.
Yeah, really questionable play coming out of Springfield there to use the Omen ultimate but not commit the rest of your team members onto the site. I know it's really difficult to push onto a site that has Killjoy utility, but at that point, if you're already using the resource to get onto the site, you have to support your Omen in there.
Of course. Yeah, no, absolutely.
The ball on this, they weren't able to get the plant, and kind of a wasted round.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. A bit of a wasted round, kind of an unfortunate thing to say nonetheless. Scuba gonna get a pretty aggressive flash coming onto them there, but Aggressive Act able to find Mc1tap. That operator for the first time in 4 rounds is finally offline. So now we see that, you know, that's definitely gonna hurt the defense of Rio Grande, because when that operator came online, that's really when they started to find their potential and bring out their aggression. But it's gonna be a 4v5, 4v4 in favor of neither team. Things are gonna be tied back up. The spike carrier was killed, but we see it going to be picked up right away. And then we see Scuba taken out by Terminal. Caboose with an Aggressive Act. Tiki finds Caboose with the operator, so now Tiki has the operator, which could be terrifying all the same. And now it's going to be a 2v3, a Raze and an Attack Cypher versus an Omen, a Killjoy, and a Sova. I mean, that's okay. All right, an Attack Cypher versus, I mean, 1v3 here. And misses a full clip, able to find Skyline. Yeah, Bravo with the operator. So the operator finally gets taken out of Mc1tap's hands, but it's about to be handed right back.
Yeah, really impressed by Rio Grande being able to able to get back into this game. We were harping on them earlier for not being able to adapt on their defensive side, but they really have proven us wrong. The operator, I think, is a really big item buy that allowed them to get back into this game, allowed them to also not only get confidence back, but to get some momentum back on their defensive side.
Yeah, absolutely. And I talked about this, I mean, 4 rounds ago, that the best situation that Rio Grande can go into in halftime is 7-5. And that looks like that may be what they're going to do here. The last 4 rounds they won, or the last 5 rounds, they won 4 of them. And if they're able to keep that momentum and win this round, they can go into halftime only down by 2. But, you know, of course, Springfield's going to have that immediate mild advantage because Valorant defender-sided maps, you know? So now, are they going to be able to go up against a Springfield who's already been this strong on attack? Are they going to bring out that same heat, if not more, on defense?
And Mc1tap holding this angle with the operator gets the flick on the SC Tiki. Now it's a 5v4. The Viper ult does come out. Gonna prevent Mc1tap from getting any easy frags, but what a beautiful shot by Mc1tap there on Cat.
Yeah, a great shot. This is the Empress commit with the Vandal grab as well, so he's going to put as much pressure on as early as possible, trying to find any kind of elimination. But, I mean, dropping the operator, if he gets taken out here and the team doesn't know... Caboose with just the luckiest headshot I've ever seen. I literally don't know. A single shot from Caboose finds the headshot kill straight away, and that was... I mean, both hard jaws dropped when that happened. That was so out of nowhere. Aggressive Act now finds Mc1tap, so it's going to get 3-4. I think the Cypher ultimate just came out on the side of Springfield. Yes, we hear that come out. Looks like the Emperor as well from Aggressive Act. They're going for a full committal here. I mean, they might as well. It's the last round.
A 4v3, the Omen really low health on the side of Rio Grande. So yeah, chance of getting this back. Springfield almost done this really slowly on the side of the retake.
Yeah, absolutely. An Aggressive Act able to find Skylines. Now 3v3. The spike has been planted and the timer is just going to start ticking down. It looks like They're going to go for the defuse, but it's just, of course, going to be a bait to get the attackers back out there. And Terminal able to find aggressive act. Scuba picks up Bravo, and as the spike defuse does come through, they've got to start putting some pressure on. NECC able to find one. Terminal finds another. It's going to be a 1-for-1. NECC able to find the elimination with that Odin. One of the biggest guns in the game, one of the most expensive and one of the strongest. Able to go into halftime 8-4. So we see Springfield, they've only got to win 4 rounds on this defense.
Yeah, Springfield's in a really good position here to come out top. Only need 4 rounds, like you said, and they do have a lot of defensive utility in the Cypher and the Viper, as well as the Omen, so you expect them to get these 4 rounds pretty easily, unless Springfield has something that we haven't seen before on their attacking side.
Yeah, no, I think we could see something coming out, kind of a small moment of surprise round, if you will, some hyper-aggression coming out from the team. I think that could do them some great value, but I mean, it's really going to come down to, is the defense going to make Springfield stronger, or is their defense going to be just as rough as Rio Grande's?
They crash against our wall.
Yeah, and after the frenzy nerf, it's interesting to see that we don't see a single frenzy coming out on either side. We see a lot of ghost usage, especially on a map like Ascent where the angles are longer in these pistol rounds.
Yeah, I agree. We don't see even a single frenzy, with which, if I'm not mistaken, was recently taken out, or not taken out, nerfed rather. So it's going to be a little bit less likely to be bought. The Ghost coming out a little more consistently. There's going to be 5 online and just 5 classics as well. NECC going to empty fire in there. I'm not sure able to find any damage. Looks like they got a little bit of damage onto the Omen. Going to get healed back up just a little bit there. And now, I mean, that's the thing about the pistol round, is it honestly is pretty boring. Nothing really happens. We just see the aggression coming out, and other than an ace in the first round, which I have never seen before other than aggressive act earlier on, I mean, the pistol rounds tend to be pretty boring. They just wait until somebody gets first blood, and then they full push on that.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed to hear that Rio Grande's doing just a 5-man rush into A, but it might pay off for them. But Caboose gets the first kill, so now it's a 5v4, and they have the advantage here. Bomb should most certainly go down. Caboose has a really good position underneath the 7 spot, so they're gonna get the plant with no problem.
Yeah, Caboose, kind of an unsung hero recently in these last couple of rounds, finding, I think, a minimum 2 eliminations in every round except for this one where he's only found 1 so far. In those last 3 rounds, of course, not every round. But now McOneTap going to be, Caboose going to be taken off by aggressive act there. Tiki able to find Rabo as well. The lead started off so strong for Rio Grande, but all of a sudden they're tied up. It's going to be 3-3. Aggressive act able to find Terminal. And there goes NECC. McOneTap taken out, and Skyline not far behind. Aggressive act, almost another ace. 1 elimination from double acing both pistol rounds. That would have been something.
Aggressive act is the reason why Riot Games is trying to nerf Reyna more. That's all I have to say about that.
They just watch him play.
Yeah, he only has a potential for 1 overkill, and he still ends up living with such low HP and getting another 4K in pistol round. He's coming up so huge in these pistols, and pistol rounds basically decide 4 rounds of the game, right? Because it's the first pistol on either side, and then you control the anti-eco, especially since they nerf the stingers. Doing a 4-second round if you lose is not as effective, so that's almost 4 rounds that aggressive act has got in Springfield by himself.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The pressure has been nothing short of intense coming out from aggressive act. He's got 23 eliminations right now. There's a high possibility he drops a 30 bomb in this first game. He's only 7 eliminations away, and we've got a minimum of 4 more rounds. So I mean, it is almost a given, let alone likely, that he's going to be dropping this 30 bomb here. The pressure coming out from them, however, Springfield, their defense was definitely unique compared to their offense. It wasn't as calculated, as scripted. It felt a little bit panicked. They really did bring it down to that 3v3 for a moment. They were a little bit stressed. They're able to come out on top of it, and that may just come down to better mechanics rather than a better game plan.
Yeah, I really liked this at first for Springfield to push out at B main. So now they have this angle. They're going to be able to hear this rotate into B. I'm not sure if Aggressive Act is going to be able to get the frag, but
Aggressive act, you're mid-sentence. I'm not sure if he's gonna get the triple right off the bat. They get a 4K. Aggressive act is looking for the ace, but no, Scuba gonna steal it right underneath their nose. I think that's the 4th time or 3rd time that aggressive act has almost gotten an ace. Also, I said the 30 bomb is probably likely. He just went from 23 to 27 in 1 round. So
I think you might prove you're right on this case.
I may have called that one correctly. He's got minimum 3 rounds to get 3 eliminations. So I highly suspect we're going to be seeing that 30 bomb. And if we have any kind of turnaround from Rio Grande, I mean, there's a world where he drops a 40 bomb. Like, it's possible if Rio Grande comes back from this. But if Springfield can keep the momentum we've seen on their defense already, especially with kind of the first 4 rounds being pretty much guaranteed in their favor, that's going to put them on game point. I mean, it's going to be gonna pretty much be over at that point.
Yeah, Grande does have the gun advantage at this point, but I like what they're doing with having Sova lurk A. I think it's going to be so much better for them to be able to get this pick, and as I say that, Jellies and Rabo trade each other out.
Yeah, we're going to see the Omen take out the other Omen, but I believe, the breach fell on the side of our attacking team, well, our now attacking team, so Grande. But it's going to be a 4-4 now. McOneTap taking a lot of damage there, but we see the enemy Reyna aggressive act taking quite a bit of damage as well. McOneTap taking notably more down to that final third of health, so a 4v4, both Reynas in critical condition. And Omen the spike carrier here. I mean, Rabo looks like they're just kind of dancing around mid, trying to pick up maybe one more elimination before they really decide which way they'd like to go. Skyline just seconds away from going toe-to-toe with Scuba, but Scuba able to find McOneTap instead. We're going to see the arrow come through to the shock arrow, but it's not going to pick anything up quite yet. Bravo knows somebody's over there, but he is a little bit too nervous to find out.
Yeah, Grande trying to push mid. It's a good dark cover, but it doesn't... I don't know if Grande knows what they want to do here. They're kind of stuck, and if you're Springfield, you might want to consider pushing them from Cat, but it looks like they're all just going to rotate onto this A side, leaving only one member on the defense left to market here.
Yeah, I think best case scenario, if you're Grande, is you push to something, because now you've got 15 seconds. You've got to make something happen at this point. And you still have to get to a point, let alone plant the spike. And as Rabo is going to be eliminated by aggressive act there, the spike won't even be planted. 3 rounds in a row after halftime, 3 rounds in a row after halftime, going in favor of Springfield. I mean, they're already on match point, and unfortunately, unless aggressive act gets 2 kills here, I mean, we might not see that 30 bomb I was so excited about.
Yeah, and it's gonna be it looks like actually Grande's gonna force here, gonna go Spectres and Light Shields. They will have enough to buy some version of a rifle round next round if they lose, but they really need to get some of these guns out of the hands of Springfield, or else
agreed.
they're gonna lose this game.
I mean, they're going in with a full Spectre run and Tiki just vibing with an Odin. So, I mean, that's going to be mildly disastrous here if they're able to get even one elimination, even a little bit of damage. Like, the Odin is terrifying to come out like that, but it's going to be that 5v5, that classic initiation. But Rabo caught in that Venom wall there, gonna take a notable amount of damage for it, but of course, gonna be taken right back up, and we're seeing a lot of cooldowns coming out from Grande. I think he's kind of turning into a bit of desperation.
Ooh.
And his aggressive act finds the wall bang onto Terminal. That desperation is just going to get bigger and bigger. They're really going to start crumbling here a little bit, I think.
Yeah, Grande hasn't been impressing me too much on their offensive side, but as I say that, the Omen ult and is going to get the plan onto this B side if he decides to. The dark cover does come out. It depends on if the Odin player is going to find him or not.
But it's the race with the Odin. Oh, this could go so poorly for Rabo. This could go so unbelievably poorly. Oh, and he's locked right on. And he's locked right on. Tiki knows somebody's on the other side of this cloud. And he uses the Odin to rip Rabo apart. Nobody else is going to be there for a very long time. Far too long for that spike to not come to an end. And it looks like, the spike, that had to be 98% diffused. I mean, aggressive action, just go diffuse the spike.
Yeah,
that's all it takes.
Gonna hold the angle and McOneTap takes out Scuba, gets another kill, and then that's another round going to Springfield.
Yep, I mean, McOneTap gets one tapped there, and the penultimate round comes to an end. That was gonna be just nothing short of aggressive, and aggressive act. Speaking of the word aggressive, drops that 30 bomb. Small round of applause. Drop that in the chat, even though it'll be 3 minutes after it happened for us. But do it anyway. Give them that support. The 30 bomb there. I love to see them. I've actually seen a bunch of those while casting NECC, and I've only been here for a little while. I mean, there are some cracked players here, especially aggressive act on a nerfed Reyna. Just dropped a 30 bomb. He has the most eliminations in lobby by 2. The next is 14. Like, that's insane.
Yeah, and this is the last desperation round coming out of Grande. They actually have a full rifle round, so it'll be exciting to see what they do. It looks like they're going to go for some type of split, and I hope they just don't run into the crosshair of aggressive act again.
Yeah, I mean, that is so disastrous. And Tiki still has that Odin. That's such a spray and pray ability. But Terminal finds Jelly straight away. That's going to be fantastic here for Grande. They're able to turn it into a 4v5 straight away. And now, I mean, if they can confirm one more elimination, they can make their lead even more comfortable. But I think that was a showstopper from Tiki?
Yeah, it didn't find anyone, but Tiki does
that will.
get caboosed with the Odin. The Odin is such a high impact weapon on a map like Ascent where a lot of the walls are well bangable, but One tap, despite dry peeking, that gets the kill in the Dusk Cell. So now it's a 4v3, and the site's gonna be pretty much empty for them to take here.
Yeah, I don't think Dusk Cell was ready for that dry peek. He just stood there and kind of let that happen. I think he was definitely caught off guard by that. But Tiki with the Odin taken out by a great shot from Terminal there, able to send their friend but opponent there down the drain into the Grave Dart as well. A 2v4 with the Spike Plant coming out. I mean, Rio Grande, they need to win this round or Ascent's already going to be over.
Yeah, if I'm a Springfield, I think I'd go for this. Your money's pretty fine. Yeah, I think you trust Aggressive Act and Scuba to play together here, because if Reyna gets one kill, they'll have... There we go.
Speak of the devil. Speak of the devil.
Comes out. There's still 2 Leers on the side of Aggressive Act. I want to see him use these before he goes down to see if he can get another pick. I don't know if he's going to have the confidence to clear online, but as I think that, that's another kill in the overhill coming out.
Skyline just being caught out there by Aggressive Act. He's gonna go from a 2v4 to a 2v1. Big one tap gets one tap. Bravo able to find Aggressive Act and Scoop. Clutch just barely coming out from that Omen player. Just a phenomenal job. They're able to live another day, but I mean, 32 eliminations for Aggressive Act right now. Rio Grande, the highest they have is 14. So I can't praise it enough. This game would be so different if that Reyna player was not here.
Yeah, Aggressive Act is just playing phenomenally. Even though he had both of his Leers and the round was almost over, he hadn't needed to use them yet, right? So then when he has both of Leers available for this retake, it becomes much easier for that almost clutch situation. But credit where credit's due, Rabo did clutch it out. I like the post-plant position of having 2 players on the site instead of just having one on Cat and one in main.
You know, I definitely think that's a great call as well. And they definitely didn't make the mistake of both being in hell at the same time. We see that a lot. They both put themselves in the same spot and they just get mowed down. So I think that was a great coordination and a great communication from the team as well. Rabo, can they carry this frag potential? We saw him get that clutch last round, keep his team alive. Are they going to live another day? Big One Tap's trying to make it happen, but doesn't sell. Says not quite yet. Jelly's able to find Caboose as well. So now 4v3 in favor of our defender for Terminal, able to tie things back up. Dusk Cell with the Odin going to be taken out as well. The magic has to happen right here for Jellies. He's got to pick up at least one more comfortable elimination. Gonna go for the teleport, trying to maybe confuse them a little bit with the sound cues, but Sova knows he's still over there, and Skyline gonna commit a couple of abilities here just in an attempt to find anybody. Yeah,
Springfield holding down mid really well. They do have a crossfire if they so choose. They can play off each other. The Leer does come out. Omen with the teleport. Teleports right into Rabo's crossfire. So now it's a 3v2 on the side of Rio Grande.
Yeah, a little bit of a misplay coming out from Rabo there. Or not Rabo, I'm sorry. Jellies. Rabo was able to find the elimination off of the misplay. Just some great value there. Finding that corner doing what needed to be done. And Tiki tries his best, but unable to go up against Rabo, who I talked about this already. All of a sudden, like, coming to life. He was already near the top of the leaderboard for his team, but all of a sudden really just trying to carry them to yet another round of victory.
Yeah, you don't often see the controller players on a team top fragging, so it's really nice to using his utility. Now we get the first frag from Aggressive Act. Now at 2v1, this is still winnable.
Honestly, if you are Rio Grande, if that was anybody else alive, you're like, oh yeah, we probably won this. But it's Aggressive Act, who has 33 eliminations on board, has almost gotten an ace 4 times in this single game. Like, this is a force to be reckoned with. So now, Aggressive Act, trying to corner, but no, gonna turn his back, he turns the wrong way. Rabo finds that third and final elimination there on the side of Springfield. Score is gonna be 12-6. The defense that was for Rio Grande. The defense for Springfield, not looking as clean as we may have expected.
Yeah, kind of stumbling in these last moments, not really getting these retakes out. I'm not sure, I think the problem is they're dying on site before the retake can come out, and they're not getting the trade kills for it.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing some early deaths coming out on the side of Springfield. We saw that a couple of times. Either they lose one or they trade one right out the gate, and that's definitely not good for them. They obviously work their best at full swing, and Mick One Tap back with that operator. That's when things really started to crumble last time for Springfield. So now Rio Grande trying to keep themselves alive. They commit to that heavy buy of the operator, the most expensive gun of the game. Gonna miss that first shot, but not gonna give his life to do it. And Aggressive Act only with the Sheriff right now. I just noticed that.
Yeah, Springfield's on a save right now. They have, I think, 2 Sheriffs and a Bucky coming out, so not a lot they could do. They want to get some guns out of the hands of Rio Grande, so their next round is easier, but it'll be interesting to see if they were able to get a pick here at all.
Yeah, even just to find one elimination would work wonders for them, because that is a short buy if I've ever seen one. You've got 2 Sheriffs, a Classic, a Spectre, and a Bucky, so, I mean, you're going up against an Operator, a Bulldog, and some Vandals. That is such a difference in rate of fire coming out from these 2 teams. The is so in favor of our attackers right now.
Yeah, Tiki trying to hold a short angle with the Bucky, doesn't quite get it. He is blinded, so not a whole lot he can do there. Aggressive Act, no, doesn't check behind against the first kill, not able to get the second, but a beautiful headshot, but Caboose with a 3K in the Bulldog.
Yeah, Caboose with a 3K looking for an ace of their own. Only has to find one, but Terminal able to find both of them. That's going to be another round in favor of Rio Grande. The score that was 1 point 12 to 5. All of a sudden, all the way up 12 to, or excuse me, it was 12 to 4. Now it's 12 to 7. Rio Grande, I mean, the comeback potential is totally real.
Yeah, Rio Grande winning the last 3 rounds in a row. They were against a save round, so they are not expected to lose the anti-eco, thank God. But now this is another gun round coming out of Springfield, so this will be the real test to see if they figured out how to break into their defense.
Yeah, absolutely. They've got that operator online once again. The pressure going to be coming out, and you know, if you're a Rio Grande fan, fingers crossed they can pick up an early elim because that would just work absolute wonders for them.
Shadows traveling. Cover going out.
Jelly is going to look for something very early on here as well, putting the pressure on, trying to use that smoke cloud for any chance of a cheeky elimination. The wall bang almost finds him just inches away. That was very, very close. But Rabo still able to find the elimination there.
Yeah, really good pick, a really good way of opening up this defense. So now it's a 5v4 in favor of Rio Grande.
Just have to play that patience and wait for just a moment, and their aggression coming out is going to have to be huge from Scuba, who's got a great play here. The spray, but can't find any value off the back of it quite yet. Terminal taking quite a bit of damage there, and now Tiki, Dusk Cell instead, able to find Skyline, able to make this a 4v4, but Scuba picks up Terminal. All of a sudden, folks, Ascent can be over. Tiki coming in, nope, just kidding, going past the door. Dusk Cell now finding Mc1 tap as well, and a 2v4 in favor of our defenders. I think this is going to be the one right here, right now. Dusk Cell picks up a 3rd elimination, and we were getting very close. We almost saw the comeback from Rio Grande, but unless Rabo absolutely pops off, which he never even gets the chance, Aggressive Act finds that headshot straight away, and the aggression comes out stronger than ever. These teams going toe-to-toe, but, I mean, Springfield just coming out stronger.
Yeah, really well played by Springfield. We can't fail to mention how well Aggressive Act played there, dropping 35 kills in 20 rounds.
Yeah, that is something. That was quite a bit of intensity. Goes 35-8 in the entirety of the matchup there, and that is just, I mean, nothing short of shocking. Has the most first bloods in the game, is tied for the most defuses in the game. There were only a couple, 3 in that whole matchup there. So that was quite the difference. We are going to be throwing you to a quick break. We're going to have a restroom break. Everybody check your posture, drink some water, go to the bathroom. We'll be back in just a minute. We'll see you guys in a bit. What is going on, everybody? I hope you missed these smiling faces as much as we missed that awesome interactive chat. We are going to be back here on Game 2 between Rio Grande, not Rio Grande, I promise we are not saying it wrong, it is pronounced Rio Grande, versus Springfield. Map 1 was a little bit of a sweep until the end there. We saw Springfield come out super strong, but I'll let Alice talk about that in just a minute here. Speaking of Alice, that is my co-caster. Go ask Alice. I don't know which side of the screen I'm on. She's on the other one. But I am Seth Dillon's play-by-play caster as well, and we are here to take it into Game 2, which is going to be on Bind.
Yeah, Ascent was pretty dominant on the side of Springfield. Aggressive app dropping, I think, 35 kills the last game. They really had figured out how to play the offensive side of Ascent. Their defense fell apart a little bit going towards the second half. At one point, the game was 12-5, and they lost 3 or 4 rounds in a row. So a little shaky from Springfield on their defense, but I have a feeling it's because they haven't worked that much on playing together as a team. And I think on their offensive side, they rely on mostly getting entry frags. Do you remember how many First Bloods Aggressive Act got?
Five. Aggressive Act had 5 First Bloods, which was 3 more than anybody else in the lobby. So, I mean, Aggressive Act brought the heat, as always. And as you go to the hero select, or the character select, rather, do you think we're going to be seeing that Reyna and that Viper again? I mean, the Reyna feels a little more likely, but do you think we're going to be seeing Viper on Bind?
I hope we don't see Viper on Bind. It's kind of an odd pick. I haven't seen a lot of people even play Viper on Bind. I hope we see something kind of like a Sage, who's a semi-meta pick that comes in here or there. I would love to see Sovas on both sides, but I hope we don't see a Viper.
Yeah, no, I don't think Viper would make a lot of sense either. It looks like they're not going to be going for that 5 Yoru strat that we saw earlier today. They do not allow that to happen here, but it looks like maybe 3 Yorus and 2 Reynas, but as they're going to swap around a little bit more, we see a little bit of consistency coming out from the side of Rio Grande. They're going to be locking in a Reyna of their own, the Omen, the Sova, and the Breach once again. So we see a little bit of uncertainty coming out from Terminal here. I think there's a lot of options they could go with. I think Cypher or Killjoy, they were on Killjoy last time around, so I think both of those would work. But it really seems like they're just dancing around a little bit, gonna lock in that Killjoy. That's no surprise there. So no changes on the side of Rio Grande so far. No, never mind. Okay, a couple of changes coming out here from Springfield. They're gonna choose the Phoenix and the Brimstone, which they had neither of last time.
Yeah, we've been seeing a lot more Brimstone coming into play to kind of counter the Omen controller, especially after the Brimstone buffs. His smokes are longer, his equipment comes out faster, and he's overall just feels like a better agent to play. Especially if you're doing hard and fast executes, you get 3 smokes that drop instantaneously and they last 20 seconds, which is like 8 seconds longer than an Omen smoke. So, and on a map like Bind, Omen is pretty useful in terms of utility because he has the ability to ult onto either side and kind of counter the rotate with the teleporters. But Brimstone's ultimate is so effective at playing post plant or getting into positions like elbow and U-Haul.
Yeah, absolutely. And we see the Cypher pick coming out from Tiki, and they're starting on defense, so I think that definitely makes sense because not only is Valorant, I've said it 100 times, a defense kind of sided game. Also, Cypher starting on the defense, if you can win the first 12 games, the first 12 matches, I mean, that puts you 1 point on the offense that you would need. So the Cypher may not matter at that point. You're going to want to take it possibly all the way. I mean, as far as you can, so you want to be as successful as possible on this defense. So your offense, you can worry a little bit less. And I feel like they've got a pretty good offense, or excuse me, a pretty good defensive team going. But, you know, there's still plenty of time for anything to happen. For all we know, we can see Rio Grande just absolutely come to life and dominate.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how Rio Grande chooses to play Breach on Bind. It's kind of an unusual pick, but I do, as I said in the last match, I love when players double up Reyna with another flash agent, like a Phoenix on the side of Springfield. I think it's a really effective way since Reyna's Leer is so susceptible to just getting shot down by their adversaries. Yeah,
absolutely. And now we see the Breach going to be the one on the side of the attack carrying the spike. So Caboose gonna have to go for an early attack, and if he gets eliminated in a poor spot, of course, that's going to end the round pretty much right away.
Yeah, Springfield is playing with 3 defenders on this B site, which looks like what Rio Grande is going to try to make a hit here. I think we're going to see a Sova Dart coming out. Gets broken immediately, so doesn't get any info besides the fact that there are defenders on the site.
Yeah, there's going to be defenders on the site, and Tiki isn't trying to make anything happen. We see the flash coming through. Gonna get shaken up just a little bit there, but not taken out quite yet. Gonna be moving up to an aerial view. Tiki finds one, Mc1tap finds another. Gonna be a 4v4. Going toe to toe with Skyline, able to pick up one. Jellies finds another, goes from 4v4 to 3v2 as Mc1tap is able to find Jellies in the matchup. So now we're gonna have to see some great pressure coming out from our defending team. Currently in the lead, but there's plenty of time for them to lose this one.
Yeah, the controllers are a little bit late to this rush. The Beast of the Omen is just now getting into CT. So now it's a 2v2, a rain on either side with their controller. The bomb still hasn't been planted, but Mc1tap gets the kill and aggressive act, making it a 2v1.
Oh. Yeah, not going to be quite an ace coming out on the pistol round quite yet, but the attacker is able to come through, and Rio Grande, they put themselves in the lead for the first time.
Yeah, a pretty solid attacking side. I was a little worried that Robbo was going to be late to that fight because he had to go all the way around the enemy spawn, but he made it there just in time, and Brimstone got taken out, so his hookah fling didn't really pay off there.
Yeah, definitely did not pay off at the end of that, and now we're going to see a little bit of a more aggressive buy coming out from the attackers than we would have if they lost, but now the aggression, I mean, I think we're going to be seeing a full classic round from the defenders. That feels weird.
Yeah, I think after the Stinger changes, teams are still figuring out exactly how they want to play the second round that they lose. So we do see some utility coming out on the side of Springfield, but the Stinger just isn't the better gun than the Spectre anymore. In my opinion, I don't think it's worth spending 1,000 credits for a round you're probably going to lose, assuming that the other team is going to force on round 2.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's definitely a great observation that you don't want to be committing credits to a round you're probably going to lose either way. You want to hold on to those until longer. Tiki trying to get a little bit of recon, unable to do so. Scuba trying to put on some pressure as well. Able to find some damage onto the Killjoy. Maybe able to confirm a kill off with the NECC boost. Able to find the first. Aggressive Act finds another, but Skyline with the Spectre takes that Aggressive Act. Terminal finds Scuba off the back of it in a 4v2 now. This is a team that's so good to start, but it's starting to slip a little bit already.
Yeah, Duskcell a little late to this one. Only armed with a classic, not a whole lot he can do. Maybe try to get a Spectre or two off of the attacking side. Oh.
Chooses not to fire.
The trigger gets in the kill. Duskcell does get one, so now it's a 3v1. The Stim Beacon does come out.
The Stim Beacon trying to look for any kind of extra value. Able to find one, maybe two. Able to find two, but make one tap with the Spectre. Just the rate of fire going to come out so much faster. And able to find that elimination. It's going to be 2 rounds in favor of Rio Grande.
Yeah, you do expect Rio Grande there to win the anti-eco, but pretty well played from Springfield to get 3 of the Spectres off of the players, forcing Rio Grande to either rebuy their Spectre or to go for a rifle instead. So not the worst case scenario for Springfield.
Yeah, definitely not the worst case scenario that we've seen. We've seen much worse earlier on. I mean, we saw at one point, I think it was 8-0. So we've seen Springfield on the winning side and on the losing side, of course. They've got the momentum to turn this around, but I mean, we're really going to see maybe a change of pace and maybe just a little bit better use of mechanics. We talked earlier on, oh, the mechanic difference between these two teams is incredible. We see great mechanics coming out from Springfield, but now, I mean, they've lost 2 pretty normal firefights in a row.
Yeah, this is the first rifle round with, but it is important to note that Rio Grande is bonusing some Spectres, so they're at a slight gun disadvantage, and it looks like they're going to double up into showers here and see if they can get a pick.
They're going to have to hope that they can, because as Robbo's taken out, that's just going to make things even worse for them. The smoke going to be blocking showers, able to put a little bit of pressure on them, so they're not going to be poking out recklessly. But this Phoenix right around the corner, gonna find Mc1tap there, but have his own head taken off moments later by Terminal with a great shot. So now going to be a 3v4 in favor of the defending team, and a turret coming out from Terminal. Looks like he might be playing that door a little bit defensively. And not some great aim coming out from Duskcell. Going to turn around right into Caboose, so definitely not great for him. Going to be a 3v3. The health definitely on the side of our defenders, but there's still plenty of time for the attackers to turn this around. Even one elimination flips this whole fight on its head.
Yeah, the attackers are in pretty good post-plant positions, but if they lose U-Haul control, it could go a lot worse for them. And it looks like the aggressive act is going to take control of this U-Haul, which gives them a lot of positioning. But the defenders have to start gathering some info if they want to get this defuse going.
Oh, an aggressive act, able to find Caboose, catches him a little bit with his pants down, wasn't ready for the response. Skyline able to find that kill. Scuba picks up Skyline, and now it is a critical condition. Yeah, it is a critical condition Killjoy going up against 2 opponents. Scuba able to find the kill, but I don't think the spike defuse comes through here.
Yeah, Tiki should have tapped that earlier and just let this go. I think the
it's
one
gonna be
moment
close.
got it.
Whew, 2.11 seconds left on the clock. Literally moments later, and that they would have lost that round. But finally, we see Springfield coming back to life, looking at that Springfield we know and love on Ascent. Pressure coming out, and they're just doing their best here.
Yeah, a really good retake coming out of Springfield. I was a little concerned on the side of Rio Grande when they lost their controller, but they were still able to get the plant down, which is really good for them in terms of just their economy. They are going to be on a really weird force. It looks like 3 of their members won't have full shields, and one of them is going to be using a stinger. So kind of a weird buy coming on the side of Rio Grande.
Yeah, a weird buy is a great way to put that. That is definitely unusual. They go with the operator. We see a couple of stingers coming out, a vandal, and a bulldog. So it really doesn't feel like there's much method to the madness. But I think was that the orbital strike coming out from Dusk Cell? It sure was. That orbital laser coming out. That is quite a commitment. I don't think he even found a hit marker with that, so that's definitely going to be unfortunate. That ultimate kind of sent down the drain a little bit, but still plenty of time to turn this around as long as all 5 of you are still alive. The usage, while it may not be great, it's definitely not the worst. Caboose able to pick up Jellies straight away, and Rabo, I mean, seconds away from a gunfight. Scuba finds Skyline straight away, and Rabo able to find Dusk Cell right off the back of things. So flipping immediately in favor of the attackers once again. Rio Grande trying to find some kind of lead here.
Yeah, Rio Grande's gonna get the bomb down. Caboose does cancel, but he's gonna get it down. Scuba throws out a shock dart, doesn't quite hit anyone.
We see the shock dart coming out, and Scuba just trying to find any kind of wall bang, putting pressure on, but he's not really sure anybody's there. He's just kind of guessing to a certain extent, and now we see the teams coming out 4 versus 3. The Sova critical condition, the breach also incredible, but now as the Omen is taken out, a 3v3. There is comeback potential here. We can see a tied up game.
Yeah, this is really winnable for either side right now. Sova is at half HP, and Reyna does have the operator. I don't know if the bomb is planted for him, though. It looks like it might be, but aggressive act takes the one time, and the breach ultimate comes out to try to stop the defuse, and Rio Grande should have this. They might just win on time.
Yeah, I think they're going to win on time here, but aggressive act able to find a kill on Caboose, and yeah, I think the spike. All right, 6 seconds left. Oh, no, excuse me. Okay, so you're eliminated there. I was a little confused by what had just happened, but the spike does find that kill. A technical clutch coming out from Terminal, and they get to hold on to that operator. So that was definitely a very good round, I feel, for Rio Grande.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to lose the operator. Kind of interesting that McOneTap is choosing to use this on the offensive side, but I'm excited to see what he can do with it, and the fact that he got to keep it after dying is always a plus.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a great blessing for them coming out there. And now the operator online, I talked about this already. This is when McOneTap really started to get a great advantage. And we saw not really a lead, but a much more consistent play style coming out from Rio Grande. So if they're able to do that here as well, and there's not as many long sights to utilize it, I feel like that would still give them a great advantage.
Yeah, they're gonna run into this Sentinel Sova bomb site on B. There's only gonna be 2 players on the side of Springfield holding this site, which is pretty usual, but luckily aggressive act is already gonna start the rotate over. The dark cover comes out, so it gives Springfield a little bit of an indication of what site Rio Grande wants to hit here.
Absolutely. They're getting a little bit of knowledge, like you said, a little bit of information, but the pressure coming out, they're doing their best to find any kind of information, find any kind of elimination, rather. There's a couple of ultimates that are going to be online. We know the run it back from Jellies is online, the Empress is online on both sides, the Killjoy ultimate online as well, and Skyline has that Hunter's Fury, but I mean, I feel like 4 rounds in, you'd expect to see at least one ultimate as Caboose picks up the wallbang onto Dusk Cell. We may have to see a committal here. Aggressive act able to find Caboose as well, so maybe popping that Empress or that run it back may not be the worst idea.
Yeah, a little bit of an over-rotate on the side of Springfield here, so that allows Rio Grande to get the plant down. It is a save round on the side of Springfield, so they're really just trying to get guns out of the hands of Rio Grande at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, they want to get the guns out of their hands. They want to try to find some eliminations. They, in particular, want to get rid of that operator. 2 classics and aggressive act, as I say it, able to get that operator out of there. So now the defense, they're playing it a little bit slow. They're going to have to get to the defuse.
Yeah, it's a 3 rough take, but they should have time if they make a play here. And Skyline gets the first kill in the Jellies, and Bravo gets another one on the Tiki. It's now a 3v1 for aggressive act on a whole lot he can do there.
Yeah, able to find the kill on the Skyline, but just more damage coming out from Rabo straight away. Aggressive act putting on the pressure, but unable to find any kind of elimination quite yet.
Yeah, and this is something that happens when you decide not to push out through the flank when you're defending on bind. It gives your attacking side so much room to rotate. We saw the over-rotate coming out on the side of Springfield, and it made them have to play a really late post plant. A retake, sorry.
You know, absolutely. We definitely saw the pressure coming out from them there, trying to find anything, like you said, looking for the retake, unable to find it, and we're definitely seeing a consistent playstyle coming out from from Rio Grande. Gonna be 4 Vandals and an Operator versus 5 Vandals. So definitely a lot of fire rates that are all gonna be the same. And the Operator, of course, kind of that missing link, the difference in the puzzle there, gonna do a lot more damage, costs a lot more to buy as well. And honestly, there is like no economy in this game. The most credit somebody has right now is 3,200.
Yeah, this is going to be a really important round just in terms of what the buys are going to look like next fight, but it looks like Rio Grande is going to have a B. They're going a little slow. The running back comes out of a teleporter, doesn't quite get a kill. Doesn't get one.
We see 2 eliminations coming off back-to-back. The pressure now all the stronger on the attacking team. They had 4 ultimates, but 2 of them have already been eliminated, so they're going to be down to 2 straight away. The Operator, however, still online, but as Tiki finds the boost, a 5v2, a 5v1, the Operator taken offline. Skyline has it, and we might just see him run and hold on to it. That might be the best strategy here.
Yeah, a 1v5 with an op, not the most advantageous position for Skyline to find himself in, and it's totally in Springfield's interest to just hunt him down and get the gun, even if you're...
Lobby, and then, I mean, Jellies just goes, watch this, though, and is just doing incredible.
Every Omen main just cried right then. It was a beautiful shot coming out of
real tears.
Oh, aggressive action to trigger discipline. No, they saw one of the players walk past him. If Caboose doesn't check this might be a double kill. Who gets the first and the second from aggressive act.
She calls it and she brings it to life. Whatever the opposite of a caster curse is, Alice just made it happen. Calls the double kill and it comes out right at the end of that. And I mean, this is another round that was so convincingly in favor of Springfield. They could take us into halftime sitting at, I mean, 8-4. That's a flawless round for them on the 11th round, the 12th round, I believe. So, I mean, no, that was the 11th. I know how to count, guys. So, this is going to be the 12th round here. And, I mean, I don't even know what can be done right now for Rio Grande. Springfield has just become so convincingly superior.
Yeah, there are 4 ultimates on the side of Rio Grande, but the money's not really there. They're going to have 1 player who has a ghost. I hope they buy, considering this is the last round and they still have 2,600 credits. There we go. You see the Vandal with light shields coming out. So, actually, almost a full buy coming out of Rio Grande, and they have 4 ultimates. So, this is their round to lose here.
Yeah, and if you guys don't believe how convincingly this has been won, I mean, the economy on the side of Springfield versus the economy on the side of Rio Grande. Springfield, they have 9,000 credits as the most, and 3,100 is the least. The most that Rio Grande has is 200, or 300, but you get the point. It's not a great economy. An aggressive act with another Operator, Skyline. He was the, oh no, he wasn't the spike carrier, but there goes the spike carrier. Takes up the boost with the headshot, make one tap wallbang onto Tiki as well, trying to find a redemption arc, trying to find any kind of elimination, and right now, I mean, this is going to be super difficult.
Oh, Make One Tap gets aggressive act, making this a 3v3 because suddenly winnable for Rio Grande. It's a 3v2 and they are going to get control of Elbow. Make One Tap has the Operator. This is the first shot.
Bravo able to find Scuba as well. Jellies with an Operator of their own. Nope, it's going to be Bravo with the triple kill, able to secure that final round in favor of the attacking team. A little bit of tactical crouching coming out there.